All right, finally got the Ranger back up on the workbench to do some work to it. So the first thing that I did is I took the front end apart here, which is a servo saver, and then the post to mount the body. It was pretty gritty. You know, it probably hasn't been lubricated since the mid '80s when this thing was put together. So took it apart, cleaned it up, re-lubed it, put it back together. Then I got the servo mounted. Now originally all the electronics were double-side taped to this tray. I didn't want to do that with the servo since I have these plastic mounts, so I just bolted it through the tray and it holds it nice and secure. I don't have to worry about tape coming loose or any flex or anything like that. And then I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to adapt a modern servo to this little ball stud and this linkage. So I found a Tamiya parts kit for servo saver, and I built that, and it works with the servo 25. I guess it's a 25 tooth if I remember correctly, standard, modern servo, and then it bolts right up to the linkage, so that worked out perfectly. Then the electronics, they're not fastened down. Most likely I'll just use a command strip because these are light. Most likely you have the receiver there, and then the ESC will probably stay where it's at. I did buy that Hobbywing Quick Run 1060 because I heard good things about them. They're not that expensive, and it's a little smaller than the other ESC I was going to use, which was from my Red Cat Gen 7 or Gen 9. So the next project will be take the rear end apart and clean it up, re-lube it, get it back together, and then I got to do something with the suspension. So these shocks are going to come off. I'm going to put the original ones back on. I'll have to clean them up, re-oil them, get them back on, and then I don't know what happened to the original torsion bar kit that was on the rear end of this, so I bought a Tamiya replacement. Luckily they still make that. So I'm going to put the torsion bar kit on. I got to replace these springs. I'm missing the one on this side here, but here's I guess it's like a helper spring maybe for the shock spring combo. So get that on and kind of see how it handles. My worry is it's going to be a little on the soft side, and I guess that was the issue when this thing was new and why my father put these shocks on. I do remember driving it and then, at full throttle or really close to full throttle, turning too sharp and then rolling the truck over. Just because the suspension was soft, and I guess with that plastic body and, higher up, it just was a little top heavy. But we'll get the original suspension back on and see how it is, and then worry about any further modification at that point. And then I guess the last issue, once I have everything together, I'll go ahead, like I said, fasten down the ESC and receiver. Then I got to figure out what I'm going to do with the battery. So originally it was a humpback battery pack, and then you keep this cap on here, this cover. I don't really feel like buying another battery if they even make those anymore. And the stick battery, if I lay it flat, it won't fit in this tray because it's curved. So I'd have to either cut the side of the tray out, which I don't really want to do. And I don't really know if I even want to use this cap. I'm probably not even going to worry about it. I think it's going to be more trouble than it's going to be worth. So I didn't realize, though, if I take my pack, if I stick it in sideways, lay it on its side, it will fit in here. It's a little snug, which is good, but I don't know if it's snug enough to keep it from falling out. So I might just get a piece of Velcro, like a strap, and then bolt it to the tray, and then just run the strap around the battery and just leave it on its side. Most likely that's what I'll do. I'll skip using the top cover. That was another issue. That's where the on-off is that passes through the plastic body. The only way I could really use that is if I cut the original switch off and then solder to these wires. Again, since I'm not planning on using the tray, I'm not going to go through all that hassle. I think I'm just going to probably fasten this, again, double-sided tape or a command strip to the tray somewhere. I don't plan on driving this a whole lot, but I just, wanted to get it up and running. So, what else here? So yeah, get the motor situated, get the electronics fastened down, figure out what I'm going to do with the battery, get the suspension taken care of, and then I did buy new wheels and tires. They're all original Tamiya parts, so it's going to be 4 of these tires, and then these same wheels. That's what they look like. So again, like I said, new tires, new wheels. I might, since the weather's warming up here, I might paint the wheels. I might paint them silver maybe, instead of just leaving them plastic, or the white plastic. but we'll see. And then that'll be the last step, get the new wheels and tires on, and then I can, as long as the motor still works, I can take this thing out and see how it does.